First of all, let's be clear about one thing. This was not anticipated by anyone, and I mean nobody. The story was predetermined for rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders when he entered the Cleveland Browns facility. Long-term project, second fiddle. Perhaps an eye-catching backup with name recognition because of that last name. But a genuine risk to Sean Watson's starting position due to a fully compensated headline? Not at all. And yet, here we are. Before training camp had a chance to warm up, Sanders was drawing attention. Go ahead and subscribe if you're interested in the true tale and all the messy turns that aren't shown on highlight reels. Additionally, you should certainly subscribe if you plan to stay to watch how this Browns quarterback crisis unfolds. He doesn't just look good for a rookie. We're talking about the coach's double takes, the locker room murmurs that soon developed into full-fledged conjecture, and the stunned silence. The young player was zipping throws that caused the coaching staff to blink twice, moving through progressions, dodging pressure, and reading defenses like a veterinarian. All of a sudden, the rookie contract he signed made much more sense. Yes, it included performance incentives that were hidden in the paperwork at the time. The Browns were aware of something. Someone in that front office obviously saw a spark, and it's now an inferno, even though they may not have anticipated this level of firepower so quickly. Let's discuss how absurd this is. You have Deshaun Watson, a quarterback for whom the Browns sold the farm in addition to making a financial investment. They gladly endured PR nightmares, a huge contract, and several first-round selections in order to acquire him. One throw at a time, this rookie is winning over the team by outperforming him in drills and playing him in camp. Do you think that's just a cute preseason story? Please. This is a competition masquerading as a crisis. And from the top office, guess who is observing it all? Jimmy has slam. According to reports, the owner has shown a personal interest in Shedeur's growth. We're chatting on the sidelines and observing his reps more intently than any rookie quarterback ought to. This goes beyond simple curiosity. There is political friction here. Because it sends a very clear message when the owner begins to spend time with your rookie quarterback as if you were watching over the team's future. He's not limited to the structure. He may be assuming control. They sense it in the locker room, too. The tone of veterans has begun to change. It was all the standard praise at first. He's a gifted child who asks the right questions. It is now more circumspect, polite, and guarded. Because Shedeur is no longer just a fun new guy as he continues to stack good day after good day. He poses a danger. Some of the players on that roster are familiar with NFL politics. They are aware of the consequences of benching a $230 million quarterback, but they are also aware of what they are witnessing on the field. And they see someone who is prepared. Not for 3 years. Not with the appropriate system. And don't forget that this child isn't scared. You would think that with all of this commotion, the Watson predicament, the media circus, and the expectation dump, Shedeur would recoil, exhibit nervousness, or rely too heavily on his mechanic. However, the leadership is already evident in team meetings and post-practice breakdowns, and the poise and confidence are impeccable. He's entering the NFL with the poise of an experienced player. And in a way, he has because Shedeur Sanders has always been in the spotlight, even though this may be his first season in the league. He was trained to perform under pressure since he was old enough to throw a spiral, having grown up in a hyper-competitive environment as the son of prime time. And now he's hurling them like daggers through the expectations of all the critics who called him unproven, arrogant, or raw. For a moment, let's revisit that contract. When a clear-cut starter is already committed, performance-based incentives in rookie quarterback deals are uncommon. The fact that the front office included a just-in-case clause in the paperwork that appears to be a brilliant idea indicates that they were aware that they might be in possession of a weapon. By that standard, the deal was modest up front. However, there are escalators, bonuses based on snaps, starts, and even playoff appearances. Yes, that building's occupants hedged their bets. And those wagers appear to be the Browns' best move in years as of right now. Because, let's face it, this team has spent decades in QB purgatory. Coaching mishaps, free agent failures, and draft busts. Deshaun Watson was meant to break the cycle and finally give Cleveland stability and superstardom, but his plans appear shaky. The chemistry isn't working. The performances have been inconsistent. A young, dynamic quarterback who is quicker, sharper, hungrier, and less expensive is now breathing down his neck. Far less expensive. Let's not act as though money is unimportant in this situation. It becomes extremely uncomfortable very quickly if Shedeur keeps going in this direction, and the Browns begin estimating long-term cap space. All of a sudden, loyalty isn't the only reason to stick with Watson. It's about starting a new era versus eating dead money. And forget about it if Shedeur prevails in that locker room. He will be followed by the team. The problem is that no one has actually said it aloud yet. He has a franchise vibe. He is more than just a playmaker. He is able to command the moment. People watch as he enters the field. Not because of the name on his jersey, but rather because of the way he leads, moves, and transforms skeptics into believers one throw at a time. That cannot be taught. You can't coach that. That's all. The Browns are currently on the verge of making the most important quarterback choice in decades. Do they follow the trend, give the rookie the reins, and run the risk of upending the status quo? Or do they play it slowly, keep him hidden, and hope Watson transforms back into his former self? The pressure is oppressive in either case. Shedeur keeps rising every day. The cacophony intensifies. The fanbase gets a little closer with each preseason game he flashes. The cameras pan and the murmurs intensify each time Deion misses a throw and drills. It's unfair. It's not courteous. However, it's the NFL. Additionally, momentum is paramount in this league. Shedeur Sanders has it right now. Cleveland's situation gets riskier the longer it postpones the inevitable. You can't ignore the obvious for very long when a rookie is this talented and quick and the veteran in front of him has so much baggage. The future has arrived. It has the number X on. It's already surpassing the present, so we'll assume his number and fill it in. What comes next, then? Do the Browns welcome the storm? When the lights actually come on, do they allow Shedeur to take that first picture? Or do they hope it all disappears, bury the story, and safeguard the politics? This isn't a preseason overreaction, so spoiler alert, it won't. The coaching room, the locker room, and the entire franchise identity are all changing. Furthermore, Shedeur Sanders did more than just disprove people. He reversed the story, destroyed the previous script, and imposed a billion-dollar franchise to ask itself the one question it didn't anticipate having to deal with so quickly. What happens if the rookie is already the team's top quarterback? Critics are free to continue speaking. While analysts are able to hedge, Shedeur is just beginning. Additionally, if Cleveland is astute, they will cease attempting to slow him down and begin to move aside because the time has come. The window is open. The excitement is genuine. Every few years, the NFL presents us with a plot that is not only thrilling but also disruptive. Something that deviates from the PR strategy. The team is adamant about not letting anything interfere with a carefully thought-out plan. This is one of those times. Shedeur Sanders did more than simply appear and fulfill the requirements. He didn't ascend the depth chart in silence like a courteous novice. He exceeded all expectations. This isn't working. I'm here now, he said, cracking open the foundation of the Browns' quarterback room and pulling back the curtain. Whether the front office likes it or not, that statement reverberates throughout the entire building. The front office is in full damage control mode, players are making adjustments, coaches are keeping an eye on things, and the media is circling. Try to act as though this is all part of the strategy. Competition is beneficial. Everything is being assessed. Nothing has been decided yet. Yes, of course. Other than the fact that Shedeur has already turned the timeline upside down, nothing has been decided. Because it's not just about who gets to start the first week. It has to do with who this team is a part of. You believe that the wide receivers are unaware of who is making dime deliveries with ease. You believe that during red zone drills, the O-line hasn't realized whose cadence keeps them in sync? Do you really think the defensive backs haven't noticed who keeps setting their coverages on fire? These guys are aware of what they're seeing, so hurry up. You can bet they're discussing it in group chats you won't see, on the bus, and in the locker room. They are considering different leadership philosophies. They are comparing the body language, accountability, and energy of both quarterbacks as they respond to poor reps. And at the moment, every path leads to Shedeur. He is not flawless. No rookie is, of course. He has experienced overthrows, misreads, and welcome to the league moments. What makes him unique, though? He quickly adapts. He doesn't spiral. He doesn't assign blame. He dismisses it, locks back in, and returns stronger the following time. That's what gains credibility. But not eye-catching highlights. Yes, he has a lot. It's that unwavering serenity and presence that doesn't resemble a young person trying out for a job. It's like a franchise quarterback taking over sooner than anyone anticipated. And let's face it, this is historic in Cleveland, not just exciting. The quarterbacks on this team were like phone chargers. It's a popular draft choice one year. Next year it will be a reclamation project, a retread veteran, and finally, we swear this is the guy this time. The same outcome each time. For once, you don't hesitate when a quarterback truly steps up and feels genuine. A contract does not cause you to cling to the past. Momentum is not disregarded simply because you paid someone else. The locker room is what you hear. The tape is played for you. You pay attention to the present. Now, let's not act as though there is no risk. The time is shouting, let the kid cook. You begin too soon. You run the risk of splitting the locker room. If you bench a well-known veteran, the team needs to be on the same page or there will be tension during every sideline timeout. However, what is the other option? Keep him on the bench, squash the team's enthusiasm, and make them act as though they have no idea who the superior quarterback is. That's not playing it safe, please. Resentment is encouraged by that. Do you really believe that players are blind to that? Do you really believe they are unaware when politics take precedence over productivity? The foundation of NFL locker rooms is merit. Work hard, earn your position, generate, or be replaced. The code is that. The Browns will lose more than a few games if they disregard that code in order to uphold a contract. The locker room will be taken away from them. It's already brittle. Buzz is present. Conflict exists. Uncertainty exists. One poor decision. Additionally, you have a culture issue in addition to a quarterback issue. That takes us back to Jimmy has slam. Let's not skirt the issue. Possession. It is nearly always a disaster to get involved in quarterback decisions. However, in this instance, it may be the only factor compelling the Browns to make the correct decision. Haslam is not an idiot. He is aware of how quickly the story can change in this league. One week you're cultivating talent, and the next you're the team that, due to emotions, sat a star in the making. If you believe that Shedeur's team is unaware of the passing of time, you are mistaken. Every outstanding representative is a receipt. Every flawless 2-minute exercise makes headlines. The pressure increases each time the offense appears to run more smoothly with him under center. Because this is the area that is rarely discussed. Quarterbacks command belief in addition to throwing passes. They serve as the team's emotional thermostat, tone setter, and heartbeat. Shedeur's belief score is currently extremely high. Players have faith. Fans are beginning to have faith. The proprietor has faith. What would happen then, if the Browns waited too long? Cool off and let the moment pass if they bench him. Easy. The locker room is lost. They lose their supporters. They lose him. Because no quarterback wants to be a pawn in someone else's public relations crisis, regardless of how patient they are. You can be sure that Shedeur's camp will start looking elsewhere if he begins to feel that the team is more concerned with controlling optics than making the most of his abilities. Stars move in this manner. Not out of ego, not out of rage, but out of distrust. Here you have a tiny window to demonstrate to a rookie that he is more than just a jerseyed body. The future lies with him. Did you miss it? And you'll be explaining why you stuck with a safe choice that backfired while you watch him hoist trophies somewhere else. In other words, Shedeur Sanders had a lot to prove when he joined the league. And you know what? He demonstrated this to the fans, the coaching staff, the locker room, and above all, the detractors who claimed he was all show and no substance. It turns out that he is a walking contradiction in the best sense of the word, bright and focused, talented and grounded, self-assured and coachable. He is not awaiting approval. He's not attempting to earn it gradually. He's carrying out the actions of all the greatest quarterbacks in history. Seizing the opportunity, claiming it as his own, and challenging the team to catch up. The Browns are now on the clock. Tick, tick, tick. Cleveland, it's your turn. There's no knock from the future. It took over practice as soon as it entered through the front door. And that's how Shedeur Sanders completely changed the course of the NFL, my friends. Not with rhetoric, not with fanfare, but with outcomes. This is the actual query that is subtly making everyone in Cleveland go crazy. What happens if this child is too talented to sit? What if Shedeur Sanders is already superior to Deshaun Watson? Not just during practice, not just on a few throws, but on a steady game-ready level that can help you win games right now. And look, I know that sounds absurd, but sometimes football doesn't wait for reason to catch up. Occasionally, a quarterback who simply has it is handed to you. You completely miss your opportunity if you attempt to overthink it. This is how it feels. Because the Browns had no intention of making this a quarterback competition. To be honest, they believed that this was Deshaun's squad. They anticipated that Shedeur would show up, sit behind the scenes, flash garbage time, and perhaps provide the social media team with some adorable future franchise content. However, this is not like the others. This is his name being chanted by campgoers. His teammates are staying to conduct additional drills with him after practice. Instead of Watson, this is the third-string receiver vying for reps with him. For 30 years, quarterbacks have broken the hearts of this city. I'm experiencing something once more. Buzz, belief, and hope. Cleveland's long-buried feelings are all suddenly resurfacing. And it's all due to a rookie who has flawless posture, a composed voice during the huddle, and a powerful arm that never misses on 3rd and 7. It's important that people are beginning to care once more because Shedeur is changing more than just the dynamics within the building. An entire fan base's psychology is being altered by him. For the first time in a long time, Browns supporters feel that something natural is taking place. Real talent emerging through pure performance, not bought, not coerced, not entangled in drama or scandal. That is not something you can coach. You can't ignore it, either. However, you know what? They are currently attempting to accomplish just that. The front desk. They can see the headlines coming, so they are quietly, courteously, and desperately panicking. They see the story spinning out of their hands. And they are merely hoping that this day will be tolerable and that perhaps Shedeur will calm down. Perhaps he has a day off at last. Perhaps Watson pulls off a week of dominance and re-establishes the hierarchy. However, it isn't taking place. Not just yet. Not even near. Shedeur continues to climb, check boxes, and enter movie rooms as if he were in 5th grade. Both coaches and veterans see it. Hell, it's probably already visible to the janitors. Those who have too much money invested in the man in front of him are the only ones pretending not to. That's the point at which football ceases to be football and becomes business. Because this is the harsh reality. The kind of deal that was meant to secure Cleveland's future is Deshaun Watson's enormous, fully guaranteed, and unchangeable contract. It could be preventing it instead. And that's the issue. Teams are reluctant to acknowledge errors, particularly those that are not costly and those that were presented as franchisee-defining decisions. However, this is the actual franchisee-defining move at this precise moment. The superior quarterback should start. Just win, no politics, no PR spin. Do you think the Eagles were sorry to let Jalen Hurts take over? When Patrick Mahomes began scorching defenses in practice, do you think the Chiefs hesitated? No, not at all. The stakes couldn't be higher when they saw the future and said, why wait? Now it's Cleveland's turn to answer the same question. Because they run the risk of extinguishing the very fire they have unintentionally started if they play it safe, take their time, or sit Shedeur in the name of not hurrying the process. To be honest, his level of confidence doesn't last forever. You can tell that Shedeur is a man who has an almost delusional level of self-confidence if you've ever listened to him speak, not the polished sound bites, but the actual interviews. And in a quarterback, that's precisely what you want. Command, edge, and swagger. He's got it. A team that is too afraid to embrace it is the only thing that slows guys like that down. The clock starts to tick if Shedeur begins to feel that hesitation, if he senses that this franchise isn't prepared to believe in him the way he believes in himself. Not only on the relationship, but also on the depth chart. These players don't wait indefinitely because they have vision, hunger, and next-level drive. They refuse to settle. They don't beg for a chance. Either they locate it or they depart. Yes, Brown supporters, you're about to witness something truly remarkable. But only if the group moves aside. Only if they begin planning for the future instead of defending the past. And I understand. Making this choice is not simple. It's a maze. When Shedeur is started, things go wrong. For hurrying him, you will be crucified. Continue losing while sticking with Watson. Because you disregarded the superior player, you are crucified. There is a right choice, but there isn't a clean one. Have faith in what you see. And what you witness every day, every snap, every incredible rollout, is a prepared rookie quarterback. Not once he learns the system now, nor in a year. Therefore, the Browns are already in the midst of the Shedeur era, whether they like it or not, whether they acknowledge it openly or conceal it behind depth chart semantics. He's not holding out for attention. He is the center of attention. You already know how this will end if Cleveland doesn't take advantage of this chance. We've already seen this film. The moment is missed by the Browns. The supporters become resentful. The player becomes irritated. In 3 seasons, the entire thing falls apart and is then repackaged as a rebuild. However, things don't have to go that way. They could do it correctly this time. When the spark was still burning, they could identify it. Rather than attempting to control the wave, they could ride it. At last, they could allow the football god to grin and tell them, "You found your guy." Not just a guy who can play, but a guy who has the power to change everything. Cleveland, this is your last word. The future is waiting while wearing a rookie jersey and calling audibles like a tenure vet in your locker room. For a chance, not for permission. Act morally. Turn on the clock. Allow the child to play. And perhaps, just perhaps, let this city have faith once more for the first time in a generation.